we're talking about people who she's collaborated with, but also the duets that she has. I mean, she's duetted with everybody. And I mean, I just okay. Do you have a favorite of her duets? I was listening to some of them I hadn't heard before, like the Steven Tyler. I didn't pay much attention to before, but I was listening to it. Do you have a favorite?
That one, I love that live because she is so young in that era,
Mm.
and she just holds her own. That she's just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and so that kind of like I think showed people, hey, I'm a rock artist. I really like the You and Me record, and I'm a big fan. So for people who don't know, it's Dallas Green, who's this great musician, and he's in a bunch. He's Canadian. He's in this band called City and Color. I guess that's like his like one person moniker, but it's kind of this very interesting like folk Americana stuff. But he's also in this post-hardcore band called Alexis on Fire. So he has a really interesting musical background, but they did this really beautiful record together called You and Me. And it's so funny because this is just so, typically Pink. She's doing all her pop stuff, and then she comes out with this record that's just like this really kind of sparse, folk record that's just very meaningful. It's, it shows off a different side of her. It's sort of low key. And like, she was one of the biggest pop stars in the world at that point, and she did this. And so I just think that they work really well together. I do like her duet with Nate Royce from Fun. And I always mispronounce his last name, so I feel bad, but
I was looking to you for that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I like that. I think their voices blend really well together. I just think that's a really beautiful song too.
Where is Nate Royas now? What is he doing?
It's funny. I looked that up just the other day because I had the same question. I forget. Let me look that up.
I mean,
because it's true. He was like, Fun was everywhere. And then, he was doing his own music, and he was writing for other people. And then like Jack Antonoff is the one that's everywhere now. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he made a guest appearance on Young Thug's record this year.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has a podcast. Whoa. Okay. This is actually really funny. I had no idea about this. I'm just reading Wikipedia. In 2021, he launched Clanecast, a podcast about the Lethal Weapon TV series, with his accomplice Drew of the podcast Globe Hell Warning and his friend Chapo FYM co-host Tom.
All right. So he's having a good time.
No idea. That's kind of amazing, actually.
Wow. Now we learned something.
I guess when your duet with Pink gets it was it like over 2 billion?
Oh yeah, it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Between that and Fun, I think absolutely that he made a good living to be able to just kind of do what he wants for a while.
Yeah, I love that. That was one of my favorite albums at that time. But
it was so clean. Yeah.
Fun
it was
dot,
so
we say.
Well produced. Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe if he's invested well, he could just go on to do more fun podcasts.
Exactly. You know what? I should have forgotten. So he actually was supposed to do a reunion with the band The Format. That was his like big band
right. Yeah.
And COVID really like kind of scotched the tour. So like it was postponed, and then they canceled it. So that's kind of a bummer.
All right. Well, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of him, but
Exactly.
but Pink moves on. Have you? When did you first see Pink in concert? What was your impression the first time you saw her?
So it's funny. I've actually never seen her.
What?
And I know. Well, because I'm in Cleveland, and and she's been here a couple times, and she's coming in the fall, but it's like either like for whatever reason, like my schedules, it hasn't aligned. Like she's one of the very few modern pop stars I haven't seen, because I'm a big fan of modern pop. But I've seen her on award shows though. And like I was at the Rock Hall inductions last year when she was there, and I've seen her on, a million award shows. And so I've seen her live. And it's because it's funny because I felt hard following her from her first album. So like Can't Take Me Home, because at that point I was super, super into pop music, and I was super into, everything that was on MTV and TRL and the top 40. And so like I was a big fan of hers from the very start. That's There You Go and Most Girls and all that stuff. She just really, really stood out to me. And, part of it was, I think, her, rebellious nature, and like she had pink hair, and I could never, ever, ever dye my hair because it was too dark. So it was difficult, but yeah, but like, for the book, I did a lot of watching of kind of her live shows and things on YouTube. And